Are we going back to the beach? Well, yeah, I guess we are. Hey everybody, and welcome to this week's Take 2 review. It's Back to the Beach from 1987. You may be asking yourself, why in the hell are you reviewing a Frankie and Annette movie from 1987? Why would you have ever watched this movie? Well, being a kid born in the 70s, growing up in the 80s, it wasn't like the 50s when there was only 3 channels, but we didn't have a lot of channels. We had more than some places, though, because unfortunately my area has a lot of gated communities with rich people in it, and that might sound good in ways, but they really fuck up the economy. Everything caters to them, and it keeps a lot of other decent jobs out, but that's not what this review is about. This is about Back to the Beach, and long story short, I watched a lot of TBS, and TBS would show like Helter Skelter. Watched that TV movie probably 20 times. They would show all the Godzillas, at least that they had rights to show, when they had a lot of them. They would show like Perry Mason, this, that, and the other. They would show little Frankie and Annette beach movies. And I mean, even if I didn't like them, after you watch them 4, 5, 6 times because there's nothing else on, you kind of grow to like the characters. And by the time that this came out, I didn't go to the movies and see it at the time, but I did when it came, like on Cinemax or HBO. I watched it and I really enjoyed it. And basically, it's like a really long after the fact sequel to the other movies, because the other movies, I'm just pulling off the top of my head, but I mean, they were mostly in the early 60s, maybe mid 60s, maybe even to 67, which would make this one be like 20 years later, and that's probably around what they did. But they've moved, they've left the beach and they've had a life, and they had to grow up, they had to be adults, and they decide their daughter's I believe their daughter's getting married. It's been a while since I've watched it, and or maybe she's not getting married, but they go to visit their daughter, and she lives at the old beach that they used to hang out at, and have all their shenanigans. And so they decide to go back to the beach, and they take their younger son, who is like totally just against anything they are. He's like a metalhead, just black leather and everything else, and his parents at least were, like surfer people. But his sister's played by Lori Loughlin, who you would know from Full House and from going to jail not long ago. But anyways, it's pretty much like a satirical parody of their old movies, and like an homage to them as well. And there's all kinds of people in it that were either in the old movies or were influenced by the old movies. It's just a good nostalgia film. It's fun. You really don't have to know much about the original movies to enjoy this movie, and that's a good thing, because some of this stuff you end up needing to know so much about the characters you get lost easy. But this, no, it's a good fun little popcorn flick. So if you've never seen it, check it out. And if you have, tell me what you think about it. Anyways, we will see you all next week.